Here's my attempt at anodising. Put the sulfuric acid in, 1 litre for 1 litre of distilled water, running it off the battery charger, switched over to the supply side. When I first switched it on the supply side, it just says overload, the green light in the middle. So I switched it off, switched it back on as charger, and then switch it over as it was still connected to supply, and it come up. Turn it up, it only got up to 1.5 amps, as you may be able to see on the left, and it's now about, what's that, 5. I'll just put this down and have a look. About 8 volts, 9 volts. That's a distilled water solution for cleaning it. I desmutted it with, using me 2 containers. The desmut is 120 grams per litre of distilled water caustic soda. That's what it looks like. And you can see on the bottom, I had white on it for a while. I put it in, a couple of minutes it starts to go dark grey, and then I've taken it out and then dipped it into the distilled water and then into the acid. This is the acid mix, sulfuric acid 1:1. Now that's 1 litre of water, 1 litre of acid. It was 1 litre of water and 120 grams. So that's been made up 2 litres, and that's been 1 litre. Caustic soda I use, this is from Coles, Safeway. Just measure it out. What I do is I put the container on the scales and then just scoop it out. Cut off the end of the drink containers for funnels. That's what I degreaser them with from the super cheap auto. That's $8 a tin. It's bubbling. The wire is causing some trouble, is that it's not allowed, it's fairly stiff. It's aluminium wire, welding wire, but it is a bit stiff, and it is just springing back because I'm trying to bend it so I don't get shadow, so I'm turning them around every 10 minutes or so. Now the lead, I brought the roofing lead, but the trouble is they put bloody paint on it. It's grey coated on one side and black on the other, and I have to get there and scrape as much as I can, so I don't know how successful it'll be, but we'll see. We'll let it go for an hour. Here are the finished ones after boiling for an hour to seal it in. As you can see, one's come out dark, 2 have come out not bad. Testing with the multimeter, these 2 give an open circuit, which means they are now hard anodised. This one gives about 0 to about 0.02 ohms. That means it's not hard anodised. However, the discoloration doesn't seem to rub off. So that might be an easy way to colour. So I'm quite happy with that. An hour with the battery charger, 1.5 amps, and boil. So it was desmut for until they went black. The larger disc, the larger gear I had, it was in there a lot longer. It didn't go black. Problem was that the contact, I don't know if you can see the mark along there, the actual wire came loose, or as it was in the acid, it slowly got ate away. eaten away, and you could see that it was white in the acid and the silvery colour out, and it became very brittle and snapped when I was taking it off. So perhaps thicker wire, even though I had two strands, I think thicker wire will reduce it from being eating. And to hang them straight, I had it on the angle like that, but it wouldn't bend. So you would try to get the three to move over and it'd spring back, and so I think it's better to wire each one individually. That way you can check to see if the bubbles are coming off, whether it's still got contact. Here's my attempt at colouring. I've had it in the anodising bath for an hour, took it out. I then added that much of the blue to the container, filled it up with water, probably that much. Then in the water I'm boiling to seal it, I heated this up just by holding this into the pot of water, spinning it around until it got up to 50 degrees. Measured it with a baby thermometer. Then I've just let it set in there. Now with that ink, it was quite quick, only a few minutes to get that colour. Although it's still wet, and you can see there's some slight discoloration around the outside. And we'll see how it turns out when it's boiled. But that's the blue ink. It's about 10-15 years old, and that's the colour it brings. Quite a nice blue. Here's a CNC4A method of colouring your anodising. Earlier you saw how I attempted the blue. Well, when I then put it in the boiling water for an hour, 99% of it washed away. So then I decided to come up with this way. You have your inner container with your ink and surrounded that by the water. So what you do is you heat the ink and the water up to 50 degrees Celsius. Then you place your item in. Now, I left these in for about 20 minutes. It accepts more colour as it goes. And then what you do is you then boil the pan and the water, the ink, the inner container. So instead of rinsing the colour out, you are boiling it in a bath of colour. Now, this is my second flange plate that fits on there and stops the belt from coming off. So that's been boiled, soaked for the 20 to half an hour. Then it's been boiled for about 50 to 1 hour, 50 minutes to 1 hour. And now that's a lot darker, hasn't been rinsed away, and as you can see, that's a dark colour. Now, if you wish, you could then put it in the boiling water and see if it will reduce it, but it's been sealed and it's come out a nice royal blue.